All right. All right. We're here. Well, look, 8 minutes late. I was getting it together. 8 minutes late, but I'm getting it together, family. How are y'all doing? How's everybody doing? We're here. We're live. We're here. We're live. We're ready to chop it up. We are ready to make it do what it do. Glad to have everybody tuning in on this beautiful Sunday evening. You guys are joining me as you always do. Let me turn my volume down over here. Folks are getting on in the room. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let's climb on in the room. People are getting on in here. Let's let everybody get on in. I'm only 8 minutes late, but I'm here. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We got a lot to discuss. Let me let everybody know on the Instagram that we are live right now. Let me let everybody know. Y'all bear with me 1 second. Let me grab my thing here. Right now. Okay, that didn't sound right. So I had to grab my thing. That didn't sound right at all. So my bad as far as that. Let me let everybody know on Instagram that we are live right now. And I'd like to get into the conversation once we get to like 1,000 people in here. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me let folks know that we about to do it. Hold on. Hey, what's up, Graham? Join me live right now on YouTube. So y'all swipe up and follow the link. We got a real deep discussion going on tonight. We're talking about Hurricane Florence and the potential racial purge that's happening out there. So y'all swipe up and join us. All right. Y'all bear with me. Bear with me. Let me get all my Instagram folks on deck. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Boom. All right, we good to go. All right, so we good. I'm good. Got that out the way. So look, we here. All right, family. All right, first of all, let me thank everybody who contributed to Hidden Colors 5, the production of Hidden Colors 5. We only have, let me look at it, we got 5 hours left. All right, the campaign is still going on. The call to action campaign is still going on. We're in the final 5 hours. We have $209,000 already. Let's try to get it to $250 by the end of the broadcast tonight. I think it ends at midnight or a little after midnight tonight. The campaign ends after midnight tonight. I think we're thorough enough to get it up to $250. You have 5 hours, family, to get your name associated in the lexicon of history with this documentary film series. Hidden Colors 5 is the grand finale in the Hidden Colors film series. This is the grand final finale. This will be the last Hidden Colors film. This is the grand finale. Everybody, we got 1,000 people here now. We'll probably get about 6,000 people in here tonight. We can get it up to $250. We can get it up to $250, and that'll be a great look for the final finale of this wonderful film series. So those Malema shirts are coming. A lot of folks are asking about those Malema shirts. A lot of people are asking about the Malema shirts. Those Julius Malema shirts will be coming soon. You dig? But I appreciate everybody for contributing, man. And this just shows once we get on code, we can get stuff done. Shout out to my brother POV Hilarious D. POV Hilarious D. You said, I suspect police unions are having police wear black men masked to carry out drive-bys. Absolutely. And we're going to touch on that in Hidden Colors 5 POV. And my man POV Hilarious D, y'all need to follow him. He became a producer on Hidden Colors 5. You did, y'all like my Bob Marley tee? Speaking of Bob Marley, a lot of folks are saying that the CIA got at Bob Marley. We're going to touch on that in HC5. You know, Bob Marley was a very conscious brother. You know, when a lot of us start dying mysteriously, that's something we always got to look into. You understand? Black people in a system of white supremacy, don't ever let anybody make you feel like you're paranoid or you being too conspiratorial. Trust no one who benefits from the system of white supremacy. I want to say that again. Black people, you have every right to trust no one who benefit or potentially benefits from white supremacy. You better be around cautious. You better be paranoid. Sometimes, when I do interviews, I know I was doing an interview in New York recently with Sonetta and Brother Polite, and people were talking about how I was looking around a lot because we were outside in Times Square. And, when I'm out and about, my head is on a swivel. I'm looking around. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping my eye on everybody. I'm keeping my eyes open. And the thing is, people were recognizing me. So there was random people kept coming up. You dig? So I'm like, hey, okay, is this person cool? Is this person hostile? Is it a coon? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I keep my eyes open. Fuck that. If y'all say I'm looking around, yeah, you damn right I'm looking around. You goddamn right I'm looking around. You dig? You got to be aware of your surroundings, especially if I'm around a bunch of suspected white supremacists. I'm really looking around. I'm never comfortable. I keep my eye on them. You understand? Yeah, the owner of the Golden Crust, his death was real suspicious. You dig? Because, there was a lot of people coming up, saying stuff and, saying what's up to me. They were cool, but some of them were just kind of standing around, just kind of watching like, oh, shit, okay. So you got to be very careful. All of us need to be. As we see, these white supremacist race soldiers can come up in your house blasting, and they have a system that's going to protect them. You just donated to HC5. Shout out to Loyalty. Like I said, family, we're at 209 right now. We can get that up to 250 by the end of the night. We got 5 hours. We can do this, family. We've gotten this far. We can do anything. I want melanoid people, black people around the world to understand we don't have to be shucking and jiving for white mommy, white daddy. We don't have to be buck dancing and cooning. We don't. You understand? We don't have to do that. We have too many resources. And resources is basically the energy that you have. You got the energy to create resources. That's your real resource, your energy. You can create matter from energy. That's just basic physics. And we have those resources. We just have to have the code to put those resources together. We can get stuff done. See, a lot of times when it comes to getting stuff done, a lot of black people think, okay, well then we got to go find white daddy. You dig? No. We can look to each other and get this stuff done so that we don't have to sit around tap dancing and begging them and then having to bow down to their whims. My man Cat Williams was on B103 in Atlanta. Shout out to my brother Cat. A lot of folks, Cat was clowning the radio host Wanda. She kind of, they were kind of taking little shots at each other, and she don't understand. Cat ain't the kind of dude. I don't know what made her think she was going to try to go after Cat. You know what probably it was, a lot of people, when they go to mainstream radio stations, a lot of the radio DJs there are so used to black folks coming in there, and just any artist going in there kissing ass to get their records played, or they're used to artists going in there sucking ass in order to promote their events. So a lot of those radio hosts think they can say little slick stuff. So she kept trying to take little jabs at Cat, and Cat, understand, Cat don't need Hollywood like that. Now, Cat just won an Emmy, and I respect that. Cat won an Emmy being himself and staying true to the game. Cat's a real fucking dude. Cat keeps that shit 100. And I used to chop it up with Cat back in the day. Cat used to hang with the hustlers. Cat didn't really hang with comedians. I would see Cats with, like, hustlers. You understand? And I don't know what made her think she can go toe-to-toe with that dude. And understand, Cat was breaking some game down. And this is the thing. You notice when you start breaking some independent game down, you got people who work in that little radio world. They feel a certain way about that. Cat was talking about how he has done all of his specials and he owns 100% of his specials. Because Cat can go rent out an auditorium or a theater and sell it out on his own. He don't need, nobody, to get his shit popping. He can get it popping through word of mouth. And he was talking about how he did his own special. He paid for it and got it filmed and everything, then sold it to Netflix, and they gave him a couple of mil, and he still owns his joint. He was breaking down some real good business. So he gave constructive criticism to like people like Monique, saying, "Hey, we don't go there talking about boycotting them and all that old stuff. Just get your weight up. Just go out here and get your audience cracking, get your weight up, do things on your own and get it popping, and then you cut a real good deal. They'll come to you with a good deal." So he was dropping some real good game as far as that. And then he said something to the effect, he said, "Well, I own my stuff. I don't have a Caucasian partner." Real talk. Now, when you start talking like that around some of the radio folks, they feel a certain way. You understand? When you start talking about you don't need white approval, when you start kind of going in on Zaddy a little bit, they feel a certain way about that. Remember when I did that interview at the radio station in Miami, and I was criticizing people for having the mentality where they got to find good white folks. I was saying some of the same stuff. I was talking about how it's important for black people to own our stuff, how we got to stop being dependent on white people. And then the radio host started talking, the butter biscuits got warmed up. Remember that? The butter biscuits got real warm when I started talking about that. And she was like, "What, you don't have no good white folks?" I got some good white folks in my life. They real, when you start talking independent, yeah, black radio is oh my God. Black radio. Shout out to black radio, because some stations, they play Mink Slide. Shout out to them. There are stations who play Mink Slide. Shout out to them. You know? No, he held back. No, the way he did it was cool and polite. You saw how he did it? He did it cool. He did it so smooth and polite the way he did it. He crushed her soul. You dig? That was hilarious. That was hilarious. Now, Cat was just kind of going off saying other stuff. Cat just be talking and be talking. He said something like Tiffany Haddish had a white husband or something like that. And I don't think Tiffany Haddish had a white husband. So, he was just kind of saying this and that. But just the essence of the business he was talking, that was some real shit. You understand? That's some real stuff. Yeah, Frank didn't want no smoke. Frank was just cracking up on the sideline. Shout out to Red Grant. Red, that's my dude. Red was in the studio. He was making it worse because Red Grant kept laughing, and Red has a funny laugh. So, you dig. But shout out to my brother Cat. You dig? Yeah. But, Stevie Wonder, he's the independent at KJLA. Shout out to them. But what I want to talk about tonight, family, I want to talk about what's going on. There's a hurricane over there in the Carolinas. Hurricane Florence is going on right now. Something called Hurricane Florence is happening in the Carolinas. And I want the family to understand chess. You got to understand chess games. And you got to understand how devious these white supremacists are. What's up, Rock? How are you, brother? Your donation for Hidden Colors Film. But yeah, everybody, thank you for donating here. But everybody, you can go click the link right below. If you want to donate to HC5, y'all click the link right here below me. There's a link for Indiegogo. Y'all click that link right now if you want to donate to HC5. Okay, we're at 211 right now. We're at 211. The goal, we're trying to get it to 250. All right, we're at 211 right now. We can get it to 250 tonight. We can do this. We got 5 hours. You in Raleigh, North Carolina? Got it. Now, we're talking about tonight how these hurricanes and these natural disasters are often used to carry out racial purges. They carry out racial purges during these natural disasters. And this is what they're orchestrating now, right here in the Carolinas during Hurricane Florence. On television, the other day on the news, they were talking about Florence. Somebody from the Coast Guard was giving details about what was happening. And as he was talking about what was going on, there was a Coast Guard worker in the background throwing up the white supremacist hand signal. And some people caught him. He did it real slick. And notice, this has been happening lately. A lot of these people, especially associated with Trump, they're getting on television and they're throwing up these white supremacist hand signals. Now, for a long time, these white supremacists will try to act like it's a joke. They're just playing. And I did several broadcasts talking about white supremacists don't play. They weaponize everything. They weaponize jokes. These people are not playing at all. You understand? These people are not playing whatsoever. Now, you see the guy, let me raise this up. The guy in the background with the red shirt on, he's holding the white supremacist OK signal. This was on the news the other day. Now you see all these rescue supplies and all this shit in the back. Now this guy, he got reprimanded, but he didn't get fired. They said, okay, the Coast Guard put out an official statement saying, hey, we don't tolerate this type of thing. We don't tolerate any racism. This person has been moved. Understand white supremacy. White supremacists never get fired. They only get transferred. So they moved him somewhere else. Got it? But this dude did that on live TV. Excuse me. This guy did that on live TV. Family, I've been warning y'all. They admitted it. At this point, they're admitting it now. Remember, I had Richard Spencer when I had him on the show. Remember? He called up on the Ustream show, one of the shows I did. And he admitted that that's a white supremacist hand signal. He admitted it. He admitted it. He admitted it. Again, black people, we're going to have to take the lead on stuff. We're going to have to stop waiting on them to make a damn confession. That's the problem. We wait on these people to make confessions. And they're not going to make a confession. They're going to deny and play dumb as long as they can. It's up to us to acknowledge what these white supremacists are doing and then take precautions to protect ourselves or make a preemptive on them if these people are trying to harm us. But we have every God-given right to protect ourselves from white supremacist tyranny. You understand? We have every right to protect ourselves against these white supremacist terrorists that's lurking around plotting to harm us based on race because we've been considered born the wrong color. This is a person who's supposed to be in charge of rescue missions sending a white supremacist signal on live television. And I want y'all to understand, these people doing that OK sign, it's almost like a kill signal. It's almost like a signal to say, okay, the purge is starting. Every time we see them throw those hand signs up, a black person randomly gets harmed. A black person randomly gets ambushed. It's some real heavy dog whistling they're doing to one another. And it's very serious. And the thing is, when you point it out, they start trolling as a defense mechanism. Don't get caught off by their trolling, black people. Do not get caught off by their trolling. See, that what happens with the white supremacists, they start trolling real heavy. Oh, you being silly. Oh, nigga, you just being paranoid. Oh, nigga, you being dumb. That's not a racist sign. That's just an OK sign. That's just a joke. Don't even buy into that. Don't even let them bait you into that. Acknowledge it as a white supremacist hand signal and keep it pushing. Don't let them try to shame you. Because the white supremacist news media, they all play dumb too. because they're in cahoots with these white supremacists. It's up to us to take precautions and take the lead on what to do. We've been abandoned by our government, our law enforcement, our lawmakers, our elected officials, and the media. What's up, Natural Charm? We've been abandoned by them. They're all on the same page. All right? Just understand that. We got to act like that. They've abandoned the fuck out of us. And Brother Claude Anderson talks about that, how black people are an abandoned class. When you become an abandoned class, you're ripe for genocide. So we got to be very, very on code with each other and be ready to do what we got to do to survive. Who was this texting me? Hold on one second. Random people texting me. What is this? What is this? Oh, okay. Well, I gotta get them up later. But understand how the media, they are in cahoots with law enforcement, the white supremacist militia groups, the white supremacist lawmakers. Understand, all of them work together. Just please understand that fact. All of them work together. Now, looking at footage and news articles for the Hurricane Florence footage, whenever I look at news items or when I look into my Yahoo Mail, I always notice that all of the images in the headlines, all of the images are of white people rescuing black children. Like this. Like when you look at Yahoo, almost every picture of on the main pages, it's always white people with a little black kid. All right? Now look very closely at these pictures. All right? And look at the outfit these guys have on. And my man pointed this out to me by email today. My man Rand, he pointed this out. Look at, these people got like ballistic helmets. They got bulletproof helmets. And they're from an organization called CERT. CERT. All right? Keep that in mind. But again, they got these people rescuing black children. We keep seeing that theme over and over again. Let me show y'all some more. I mean, every other image is them rescuing a black kid. Or black teens. Here's another one. They're rescuing some black teens. They might be like 12, 13 years old. So they're out here rescuing black teens left and right. All right? We keep seeing these headline images. I understand there's a lot of white people out here. White people need to be rescued, but they're not showing that. They're not showing them rescuing anybody at a trailer park. They're making a point to show them rescuing white people, black people, white people, and they're very particular. It has to be a white person rescuing black people. Okay, here's a couple of more. Let me show y'all. All right, there's another one. People from the disaster services. I mean, all of these headlines just over and over. And I'm looking, okay, when I see something over and over again, when I see a pattern, I'm like, wait a minute, something's wrong. Something's weird about this. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me put on my thinking cap. Let me break it down. For a couple of reasons. They're doing this for a couple of reasons. I'm going to break it down. They're doing it for a couple of reasons. But I'm like, damn, why do they? I'm like, there's a lot of white people in North Carolina, South Carolina. Why is every fucking picture of them rescuing a black person? What's that about? Understand, the media don't do shit without rhyme or reason. Okay? It's, number one, the first thing, it controls the narrative. The United States, we got a very bad rap, or they got a bad rap of being dominated by white supremacists. So this gives the international world an idea that, okay, not all white people are racist. See, look at all of us white people rescuing these poor, downtrodden blacks. You understand? That's one of the images that it gives. Look at Look at us rescuing these black people. If we were so racist, would we be out here rescuing these black kids like this? You did? Do you think they ain't white people in trailer parks floating all around out there? You got to kind of dig for those pictures. There's white people floating in trailer parks all over the place. They're not showing that in none of the headlines. They're making it a point to show them rescuing black kids. All right? Now, there's a reason for that. Let me show another one. Hold on. There's a reason for that. And again, look at that. Here's the certs guy. Here they go, the tactical military guys, the CERT, S-E-R-T, Special Emergency Response Team. All right, that's CERT. They're just rescuing black babies left and right. Got it? Okay. So, what are they doing that for? The white supremacists, when they got one agenda, they'll pretend that they have another one. So right now, they're prepping your mind like, look, we're all not racist. We're not racist. All of these pictures are screaming, all of us aren't racist. So why are they making such a big deal to show that they're not racist? Because that's what they do. Whenever they get black children, and they love getting black children for photo ops. Got it? They love showing that, them white people with black children, to give the impression that they're not racist. And usually, don't you know, most people who use black children as photo ops are the most racist. They're the most racist. Remember with the Levante up there in Oregon, his white supremacist adopted parents kept parading him around, letting him hug on white people. And back home, that boy is being goddamn terrorized and brutalized and ultimately killed by those white supremacist women. They love throwing up smoke screens when the dominant society go out of their way to show you, oh, look, I'm not racist at all. Look at me, look at me, look at us helping the blacks, look at us. There's always a trick bag to that. I knew something was going on with that. Something was happening with that. And the media showing that, because the media, the mainstream media is not a friend of black people at all. So now, today, the news cycle, they had these images all over the place in the news cycle. This was the image they had all over the news cycle today. Bam. Almost every mainstream media news outlet had a story about looters that raided a Family Dollar store out there in Wilmington. And they kept showing black people running in and out of this one store. They even had white reporters out there chasing black people. Hey, you're looting. Why are you looting? You're looting. Why are you looting? So they were running this looters raid Wilmington store. I mean, they were just going on and on and on about this one store being looted. It was only one store. It was a Family Dollar store. You feel me? And what's interesting, the store is like right across the street. It's right next to the projects. The store is right next to the projects. And hold on, here's another article about that. So they're showing women running in cars, and you see there's a housing project in the back. The store is right next to the projects. Breaking, hurricane looters reportedly cleaned out a Family Dollar store. Got it? You feel me? So they were hell on that. And I noticed they were being real extra about that store. And they also said the owner of the store, he was like, just go ahead and let them loot. You know, we just want, it's no problem. Let me tell y'all something. That was orchestrated by the white supremacists. Number one, the fact that the media was out there so fast, everybody's so-called looting the Family Dollar store, like, okay, the media, all the media folks were out there real fast, okay? And they got this thing like, okay, black people are just sitting around waiting to rob a dollar store, okay? Understand this. This was orchestrated so now they can criminalize black people. This is how they can criminalize all black people. We know that the white supremacists do things like put bait trucks in neighborhoods. Got it? We know that. They got outed in Chicago when they tried to put a bait truck in a poor area to bait people into stealing from it. They do the same thing with stores during natural disasters. They will leave a store open during a natural disaster, or they'll even get one of their own to go in there, bust the window and say, hey, look, everybody, let's go get this. They will orchestrate that. You think they won't do that? Dude, when I was in Baltimore, when that CVS burned down, I believe the white supremacists did that in order to justify bringing in the military. Understand, during the uprising in Baltimore, the police were the ones who instigated that because they had Freddie Gray's funeral. People were there giving homage and paying respect to Freddie Gray. Remember, the police started throwing rocks at those kids in Baltimore. Do y'all remember that? It was the police who instigated that shit. The police showed up, and there's footage of it. The police showed up, and they were throwing rocks at the kids. The kids said, fuck this, and threw rocks back. And that's how they start flying in the military helicopters. They start lying, talking about the Crips and the Bloods are going to start attacking everybody. Then they found out that was a lie later on. They were using that to justify coming in there. I was in Baltimore when all that shit was going down. I'm looking around seeing what's happening, and I'm like looking at the military presence. I'm like, this shit is like Beirut. I'm like, what is this? They orchestrated all that stuff. So now you got, in Baltimore, you had all this police presence around a CVS store. You guarding a CVS store like it's goddamn Fort Knox? In Baltimore, you had all types of military vehicles, tanks, helicopters, soldiers around a CVS pharmacy. That was the epicenter of the whole thing in Baltimore. Y'all doing all that for fucking toilet paper? So they orchestrated all that to justify going into the neighborhood, locking it down. It was a setup. Same thing in Ferguson. Do y'all know in some of these protests that were around the country, we know that there were undercover police officers in these protests instigating things. There are several reports of some of these during like the Mike Brown protest and the Eric Garner protests. There were several reports of these undercover cops vandalizing things. They had undercover cops in the crowd vandalizing shit so that they could justify swooping down on everybody. I believe the same thing with this dollar store, the Family Dollar. I believe the owner made some kind of deal with law enforcement. They opened up the store, let people go on in. The guy's gonna get insurance. You got insurance for that. It's a natural disaster, somebody's looting. That shit is covered. You got insurance for that. But they're making it a point to, all the news cycles are showing that one store getting looted. Got it? Understand, these people are playing chess. They're not playing checkers. They're playing chess. So now, when all those stores, well, not even all those stores, only one store. The one store is getting looted. So now, the white supremacists all over the place, they got these signs up. All right? Looters will be shot. Got it? So now, Looting already starts as Florence arrives. Only one store has really been looted, and it's a damn dollar store. So now they're doing the thing where they're going to start labeling all black people looters just like they did down in Hurricane Katrina. That's exactly what they did in Hurricane Katrina. Every black person got labeled a looter, and they were killing black people wholesale down there in Hurricane Katrina. Do y'all know how many more? There's signs all over the place. These white supremacists talking about looters will be shot. Shot for what? You already insured. You're going to commit murder because you want to commit murder. And the white supremacists in the media and law enforcement, they've deputized the white supremacist civilians. You ain't protecting nothing. What you protecting? Toilet paper? And this is the picture I just put up. That's a bar. What they going to... Let me put this up again. Oh, that ain't it. That's not it. Let me put that up one more time. So this guy, notice this. This guy has a sign up on his bar. This is a bar. What they gonna loot out of a bar? Why does this guy have a looters will be shot sign on his bar? What you gonna take out of a bar? An empty bar. I'm pretty sure he got all his liquor put up or whatever. So what you got to sign up talking about you going to shoot somebody for breaking in a bar that don't nobody want nothing out of? What's in a bar? He probably took all the liquor out. You going to shoot people over beer? No, you're going to do it because you want to do it. That's why they're throwing up these little white supremacist codes. These people are all on code with each other. And now let's go back to the CERTS organization. Let's go back to CERTS. All right? Now that black people have been labeled as looters, so now when they start attacking black folks, it won't look racist now. Because remember, we were just saving the black babies. We're not racist. Look at all these black babies we were saving. So now that we're going to round up the niggers, I mean, it looks racist, but we're clearly not racist. If we were racist, we wouldn't have helped those black babies. Now look, this is the CERTS people. This is CERTS. Now they're going in and out of housing projects. This is a housing project they're in. All right? This is CERTS with the tactical equipment and all that stuff. Got it? Now, who the fuck is CERTS? Some of y'all might be asking. All right? Who is CERTS? Since they're out here rescuing everybody, CERTS is not really a rescue unit. CERTS, these people work with the Division of Prisons. All right? My man Rand pointed that out earlier. CERTS, they are in cahoots with the Division of Prisons. What they do, because the white supremacists understand this. They understand the only thing that keeps them afloat is systematic subjugation. They gotta have a system in order to keep people subjugated. They're not a rescue organization, they're a prison organization. So they understand during a natural disaster, some black folks might wise up, especially in the prison system, because if there's a natural disaster, you can't get fast backup. So if they were in the prison and they decided to rise up on the guards, that would be very detrimental. A lot of guys can break out of prison and do whatever. You feel me? Also, they keep people in prison contained just in case people break out. Also, their job is to keep the black community contained. White supremacy is a prison. Black neighborhoods, to them, are prisons. Housing projects, there's a reason why they're in these black neighborhoods. They got you thinking they're in here to rescue black people. They're there to contain black folks. Do y'all understand that? They're there to contain the black population. That's why they will orchestrate some shit where black folks will loot something and they'll justify rounding black people up. There is a reason why, remember in Katrina, do you know how many black people were missing during Katrina? Thousands of black people have never been accounted for. Thousands of children, black children, never been accounted for. You understand me? They be purging brothers during these natural disasters, family. There was a documentary where some people from the UK, they were interviewing some white supremacists down there in New Orleans, and they were admitting that they were picking black people off. They were shooting black folks. They were admitting this shit. Cynthia McKinney, the politician, the sister, she got in trouble by saying she heard that in a prison, remember Cynthia McKinney said that she got word that like 5,000 inmates just disappeared from like a jail. Just nobody know what happened to them. And she got in hot water for saying that. You understand? And not only that, let's not even get into what they can, these people will go take you somewhere, you disappear, and then all of a sudden they got some fresh organs. They done went and harvested motherfuckers' organs. They always use natural disasters to go after us, to start purging. Boy, these bodies start disappearing. And the Red Cross, they got and all these rescue organizations got a batch of fresh damn organs. So it's very useful for these organizations to go and target the black communities for several reasons. Number one, they got to keep us contained just in case somebody decides to use that in the black community as an opportunity to go attack other folks. They always got to keep us contained. And they know that when black folks start missing, nobody's going to question nothing. Now, when they start snatching up all these black folks, nobody's going to question nothing. It won't look like foul play. It's like, oh, they got swept away by the hurricane. You understand? A lot of blacks don't have cars to leave. That's understandable. You better have a gun. I know about the Red Cross in Haiti. We know about the Red Cross in Haiti. People were finding organs, boxes and containers of organs just laying around. They found there was just organs and body parts and shit all ready to ship out. You understand? So understand, CERTs and organizations like CERT, they're almost like SWAT. Special weapons and tactical, I think that's what it's called. But understand, SWAT, they were created to keep black people contained. The reason why they created SWAT was directly because of the riots that black people were engaging in the 1960s. Black people were whooping ass, and they didn't know how to handle black folks. Black folks have never risen up like that. SWAT was created directly because of that. They had to learn how to get special weapons and training to contain the black population. If black people rise up, they got to bring in that SWAT to come in and, they had to train people. SWAT's purpose was directly aligned with keeping black folks contained. And this organization, CERT, the same thing. It's the same thing. These people come in to contain us. So black folks got to be on your P's and Q's and understand when they keep running with that whole looting narrative, we got to watch that. Because that's going to be used to justify harming black people in large numbers. You dig? And understand, these law enforcement organizations are completely infiltrated by these white supremacists. So when you see somebody from the Coast Guard throw up a white supremacist hand sign, he ain't the only one. Remember, down in Jasper, Alabama, a bunch of white supremacists who work on law enforcement, they got suspended. Notice I didn't say fired. This was in July. They got suspended for their white power hand signals. This is them sitting there with all that tactical shit on And if you look closely at their hands, they're making the white power hand signal. Let me zoom in if I can. They're making white power hand signals. All of them. Well, all the not all of them. The guys on the right aren't. They look like they're. I think it's the mayor of Jasper. But some of these other cats are using that white power hand gesture. So understand, they did not get fired. They only got transferred. And they're sending a message. The message is, hey guys, it's okay to be a white supremacist. Just don't do it. Don't do all that shit publicly. They didn't even get transferred. They got like suspended for a couple of days without pay. This is what we're up against, family. And looter always means black. I want y'all to understand that anytime they use the term looter, it always means black. I've never, ever seen a white person arrested during a natural disaster. I have never. Have you all? If you have, let me know. I have never seen a white person arrested during a natural disaster. Don't tell me that white people don't take shit during a natural disaster, because that's bullshit. There's meth heads and Percocet heads all over the place. You think they ain't hitting up stores that been flooded? You think these broke ass rednecks, hillbilly meth heads ain't getting out here snatching up some shit? Breaking in the drugstores, getting a fix? I've never, ever seen a white person arrested during a natural disaster. Never. I only see black people get arrested. If you've seen some white people get arrested, let me know. They call them survivors, victims. They're either survivors or victims. Well, if he stole something, he had to do what he had to do. If he stole a batch of drugs, well, he wanted to get his family well because they didn't have the proper supplies. They never, ever refer to white people as looters, no matter how much shit they take. Remember they did that down in Katrina. They had white people and black people taking stuff. The white people were survivors. White people were going to stores. They were survivors. They were taking shit out of stores. Black people, all looters. They were using that to justify shooting black people. They are using this to justify having a purge. Black people got to be very careful and understand these white supremacists are on a major code. There is a politician down there in Georgia, Mike Williams. And this was a few months ago, this picture. But Mike Williams, and this is a politician in Georgia, by the way. This is Mike Williams, the white guy in the back. He's with a white supremacist militia group called the 3%ers. And notice let me make it close. Mike Williams, the guy with the white shirt in the back. You notice these guys are all throwing up the white supremacist hand sign. This is a white supremacist group, the 3%ers. Look at the guy, just to show you how insidious these people are and how clicked in they are with law enforcement and government officials. This is a government official who we pay the taxes for, kicking it with a white supremacist group. Now look at the guy on the far right. The guy on the far right. Hold on, I'm all over the place. Hold on, I'm fucking up over here. Hold on, let me get my shit right. The guy on the far right, look at him. Look at the guy on the far right. Now that guy, well, what I do? I done fucked up. Am I here? Hold on. Y'all bear with me. Y'all rock with me for a minute. I can't see my damn self. All right, there I am. All right, there you go. There, let me put my shit back on. There we go. All right, I'm trying to get this technology popping, and I'm fucking all the way up. All right, so let me Let me get some of this shit together. Yeah, he look Arab, but he's a white Hispanic. He looks Arab, but he's a white Hispanic. His name is, hold on. Let me show y'all him. That's Ramos. Alex Michael Ramos. All right? That's Alex Ramos. He's from Georgia. As you see, this is his arrest thing. He's a white Hispanic. Now, he looks familiar. Remember, this is one of the guys who got convicted in Charlottesville. He got convicted in Charlottesville for racial assault. Alex Michael Ramos. All right? That's one of the guys who got convicted of beating up black people out there in Charlottesville doing the white supremacist rally. All right? He's a white Hispanic. Major white supremacists, very dangerous white supremacists. Understand, they're throwing up those hand signals. And I show you that to show you how tied in all these people are with each other. These people are all clicked in. The politicians, the media, the law enforcement, these white supremacist militia groups, all these people, the Coast Guard, CERT, all these people are on code with each other. So that's why you see them throwing up those signals. The white supremacist group, where one of their members just got convicted after he was throwing up them signals, and you got a member of the damn Coast Guard throwing up a white supremacist signal. You dig? And we out here fucking around. We got to be on code majorly, family. We got to be major league on code. You dig? But understand, out there in the Carolinas, North Carolina, South Carolina, and this is very important. This is why whenever there's a natural disaster in a coastal city, they start plotting these purges. Because understand, a lot of black people own property and land in a lot of those old coastal cities that used to be slave ports. Let's get deep tonight, family. Even in New Orleans, down there in New Orleans, they make you think that it's a bunch of dusty Negroes with gold teeth and shit. No. You got black people with some pretty fly shit down there. You got black landowners down there who's been living in certain areas out there for decades and just generations after generations, whose great-grandparents own land. So these white supremacists want that land. Remember, we just did the Ism Radio thing down there in Atlanta. We showed you some fly shit black folks got. Those fly businesses black people got down there. And those good locations down there. You understand? See, they like to just show you black folks in the project. There's some black folks out there who got some prime land that they've had for generations after generations. So when Hurricane Katrina came, oh yes, get these niggas up out of here. They made it seem like they're just getting out the little project Negroes. No. They were getting a lot of black folks out of there who had houses and land out there that they've owned for years. They loved getting access to those coastal cities. Out there in North Carolina, do you know they got some of the oldest African-American, Black American communities out there in North Carolina? Do y'all know how many racial purges and relocations they've had out there in the North Carolina area alone? Remember, after slavery, there were a lot of free black folks who just got land and stayed there. You had those Gullah Geechees out there. They've been hell on getting that Gullah Geechee land. Oh, Lord. They've just had their dick hard about getting that Gullah Geechee land. That's prime area that those black folks had. They've been trying to finesse them out of that land for decades. You understand? Because the white people want to get those coastal areas. They want to get into those coastal cities. And in North Carolina, you had Wilmington where they burned down and destroyed a whole black area. The movie Wilmington on Fire is about that. Yeah, Princeville, North Carolina. All black town. Old black town. They want that. Them white supremacists been wanting that land for the longest. They've been wanting that land in North Carolina for the longest. You understand? So this is why they start getting really on code about relocating. So when y'all start to see all this stuff about black looters and they keep showing you a couple of hood cats running into a Family Dollar and that's going to be used to justify wiping people out, y'all better be careful. Y'all better be careful. They've always done, even, let's go to Miami. Miami was built by black Bahamians. Black people from the Bahamas built Miami. Straight up, and they know that. Black folks from the Bahamas built Miami, my nigga. Miami had like a business district that was like Harlem over there. I want to say it was either in the Liberty City, where that area is, or the Overtown area, one of those areas where they started destroying those black areas so that they can get white people out there to get the land. Black people had it popping out there in Miami. Then they say, wait, white people like to come out here to get next to this water, to use this as a tourist spot, so they start building freeways right in the middle of those black areas out there in Miami. They start building train tracks, fucking that up. Overtown, they fucked that up. You did? So y'all got to understand the game these people be playing, especially if you live by a coastal city. Especially if you live by a coastal city. You dig? You from South Carolina. That's what's going on in Kingstree, South Carolina. And shout out to the ancestors, by the way, because the ancestors are attacking some of those old plantations. I was talking about this the other day. There was a couple of plantations in South Carolina. One of them got struck by lightning. So shout out to the spirit of Shango. A plantation, old former slave plantation, one of the main houses got struck by lightning and the shit burned down a couple of weeks ago. Ashe to Shango. And they couldn't get to it because the trees in front of the plantation was blocking the fire trucks. Shout out to Ogun. Give thanks. That's why these hurricanes are attacking some of those areas, those slave port areas. You understand? And speaking of the ancestors, up in New York, is this suspected white supremacist police officer, quote unquote, who works for NYPD, who's a big time Trump supporter, who has a bunch of like antagonistic rhetoric on his Facebook page. He lives in the Bronx, or somewhere near the Bronx in New York. This motherfucker got attacked by a bear. It didn't kill him, though. Damn it, Ogun, maybe next time. He got attacked by a bear in Cornwall. Where's Cornwall, New York? It was in Cornwall, New York. Where is that? Is Cornwall in the Bronx? I don't know my way around New York like that. Where's Cornwall? But my dude got attacked by a bear. Ashe. You dig? Man. Don't forget the Orisha Oya. Yes. That Oya, some of that wind god, all that stuff. Yeah, where's that Zimmerman photo? Hold on, let me find that Zimmerman. A lot of folks are showing that Zimmerman photo. Hold on, let me look at Indiegogo to see where we are, family. Let me see where we are on Indiegogo. Where we at on Indiegogo? Where we at? Let me see. Come on. Where we at? Okay, we're at 214. All right, family, let's get it. We're at 214 right now. We got 4 hours left for Indiegogo, family. We can get it to 250. We're here. We can get it. We can get this thing up to 250. We can get it up to 250, family. We can get it up to that 250. Hold on one second. We can get it up there. And we're going to get it there. We'll get it there by the night. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it. You going to donate again right now? That's what's up, family. But, you know, that's what it is. That's what it is. So we got to stay on code, family. We got to protect ourselves. Where's that picture of Zimmerman? Let me find that picture of Zimmerman real quick to show the family. So, you know, y'all know my computer runs slow. And again, thank everybody for contributing to HC5. We're getting there. The goal for the night is 250. And I think we can do it, family. The goal for the night, tonight, because we only got 4 hours left, is to get it to 250. And I think we can do that. I think we can do that. Hold on. Let me find that George Zimmerman. Okay, hold on one second. Now, where's that picture of Zimmerman? There's a few things I want to touch on tonight. Where's that picture? Okay, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay. And my thing stopped acting slow. Come on, man. And shout out to my people in Atlanta. We will probably be doing a Mink slide concert out there in Atlanta on December 22nd. I want to confirm that tomorrow, because a lot of folks have been wanting the Mink slide concert to pop off. So we will probably be doing definitely a concert out there at Center Stage in December 22nd. How come my picture's not saving? Hold on one second. God damn it, I'm trying to get this Zimmerman picture. Okay, here it is. It's just being real slow. All right, y'all bear with me. All right, there it is. So yeah, this picture is circulating around about this piece of garbage, this human piece of waste that's being protected. Understand, Zimmerman is being protected by all the other white supremacists, including the media. He's being protected by the media. And there's a picture going around of him doing, come on, things slow up from here we go. Here we go. All right, this is Zimmerman. That's him. He signed some Skittles. Got a Confederate flag. He's up there grinning. So one of his big fat ass white supremacist supporters, you know, wanted him to sign some Skittles. So that's him. He got the Confederate flag shirt on. So, you know, that's what it is. You know, they know what time it is. You know, killing one of us, they're supposed to celebrate. Their job is to celebrate. They, you know, when they get one of us, you know, that's a win for them. When they ambush one of us, that's a win for them. You donated $150 today. That's what's up, man. Much respect to that. You dig? You from Kings Tree, South Carolina. That's what's up. See, black folks, these white supremacists, they're out here on code against us. And we think cooning and bedwenching is an option. We think cooning and bedwenching is an option. It is not an option. We think lying to ourselves and being buck dancing coons is the new option, and it's not. Let me show y'all some. I saw this. This was a couple of months ago, but I just saw it on my page today. There's this one bedwench who's a dominatrix. And she's one of these shea butter feminists. And I want to play this video she did with BuzzFeed. How she's a dominatrix, how she beat white men and all this old stuff, and she's trying to spin it into something empowering, as if she's paying them back or something. And I want to show you the mental flips that coons and bedwenches engage in order to justify gutter sex and fuckery. Okay? Now check this out. Hold on one second. Hold on. Let me get the sound going. Hold on.
Velvet. I've been a dominatrix for 4 years, and I got it. It's very wonderful to be a black femme.
Hold on.
It's very wonderful to be a black femme whipping a white man. My name is Mistress Velvet. I've been a dominatrix for 4 years and a goddess my whole life. The core of my domination style is that I force slaves to read Black feminist theory. My very first slave I had ended up being like, you are such a nice, kind, and smart person, but you will never be a dom. And that, like, really upset me. Thank you. I was like, no, I don't want any white man telling me that there's something I can't do. And so it kind of pushed me to like do a lot of research around BDSM and kind of cultivate myself as a dom and what that meant for me. 243, mistress. 244, thank you, mistress. I kind of pushed them to engage in BDSM outside of like what you think of it as just being beaten by some cruel woman. Thank you, mistress. And so that's kind of a lot of where the like readings come in. Oh, I like this. I'm getting a little murk. How it all started in terms of me kind of like now building a curriculum of Black feminist theory for slaves was one slave came into our sessions with a lot of emotional baggage and lots of white guilt. And so I just turned to the people I trust. I turned to Patricia Hill Collins and Audre Lorde and was like, these are some texts and readings that have been really powerful for me and shaped my thinking around things. Why don't you try reading Audre Lorde and see like how it makes you feel? And while you're at it, write me like 1,000 words. I could even look at an essay.
If you could pull it up.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. So y'all get the idea. It looked like she's Nigerian. Looked like she's Nigerian, by the way. And I'm going to get on that in a minute. That's enough. I just want y'all to see that's the mindset. That's shea butter feminism in a nutshell. That right there is shea butter feminism in a nutshell. Bed wenching, gutter sex, and them trying to make it seem like it's something empowering. Oh, I beat my slaves and I make them read feminist books. Oh, I got control. And her whole thing is making it seem like she done reversed the game on the white dudes and she's in control and she's beating them and she got control over them. Woman, please. That's gutter sex, bed wenching. So you think she's talking about, and I could play the rest, but it's just, in the clip, she's talking about, well, I feel like I'm getting reparations by beating them and making them pay me to beat them. Well, first of all, let's get into some Mac lessons for a minute. Let's get into some Mac lessons, okay? When you catch a trick, the objective is to break the trick. The objective is not to mind fuck yourself into some type of political fantasy. See, when you start thinking in those terms, like you're doing some kind of political thing and you've mentally dominated them and the trick is run a game on you, that means your game goofy. If you in the game, that's why this motherfucker like that need her some folks to put her up under some instructions. Number one, you catch a trick, you're supposed to break that trick. And those fetish tricks pay big money. You're supposed to be breaking this motherfucker and sitting your ass down somewhere counting your bread. Don't mind fuck yourself. That's just another trick who has a fetish. Don't sit up here and lie to yourself. You get in the game and then you start fucking the game up with all that cornball nonsense. Idiot. Get in the game and get something out the game for real. If you get in the game, you're supposed to get in there and get you an exit strategy on getting out. But once you get in the game, you're supposed to stack that paper and get it how you live. You don't be in there trying to mind fuck yourself politically. She's believing her own stupid shit. Let me tell you, any women, because a lot of these women who are dominatrix and all that, they get on that bullshit. There's a lot of those shea butter feminists who are into that dom shit, and they think that they're getting over on the tricks. Number one, you think you're getting over on this trick by making him get off sexually? He's allowing you to get him off sexually. Fool. You talking about, that's my slave, I make my slave read my feminist book. Get the fuck out of here. He's allowing you to get him off sexually. You understand? You got these humiliation tricks. See, y'all better understand the game. Those tricks like that are low-key homosexual, and they don't want to come out with it. That's why a lot of them like to be beaten, and they like for you to use dildos and shit on them. Those are humiliation tricks who don't want to come out of the closet, and they like to be humiliated sexually and socially because they get off on that. They get off on the pain, that S&M shit. They get off on the pain, and to have a dark black person do it because they really want a black man to do it, but they don't want to come out the closet and go that far. So they like a dark-skinned black woman who's very dominant to do it because that's like some bi-proxy homosexuality with those type of tricks. That's why they also like trannies. Those type of tricks love black trannies too. You understand? And they allow you to do that. Those tricks are 100% in control of you doing all that. They do what they let you. You do what they let you do. So you reading your damn book to this trick, it's just role playing, fool. I let them know about black feminist thought, and I be reading Patricia Hill Collins. That trick don't give a fuck about no. That shit is in one ear and out the other. He's thinking about busting a nut through his prostate. He's thinking about you putting something in his prostate. You talking all that shit is want to the damn trick. And these are the niggas that they'll let work at the root. You understand? These are the Negroes that work at the root and thinking they doing something because they got a white trick who lets them beat on them. He's allowing you to. It's role playing. And to have a black person do it, it's an ultra humiliation fantasy. Because you know that you can dominate a black person, but you're allowing them to humiliate you, and you're letting somebody so lowly do it to you. You understand? It's humiliation, and it works when you get a black person to humiliate you. But again, you're allowing them to do it. I'm just telling you the game. This is the game. And what's interesting, my player partners used to tell me it was always them real conservative ones who's into all that freaky shit. It's some of the most conservative white supremacists are into that freaky shit. They love that type of shit. They love being dominated and pissed on and shit on by sisters. They love that type of stuff. And the key word is allow. Because understand, these same tricks will let you piss shit, whip them, and do all that, and then they'll go pass a bill. They'll be working in Congress somewhere. They'll go pass a Blue Law Matter bill or some shit. You dig? Yeah, I talked about the Cat Williams thing earlier. But they like that. They like them. If you see those dominatrix, they're always dark. Some of them even are very masculine. What's that? There's a real hideous coon bedwench. She's always trying to troll me too. Who's all clicked in with the alt-right. Her name is Tree of Logic. She's a big old tall hideous ass chick. And she lives in Germany. Her name is Tree of Logic, and she was a dominatrix. The tricks will let her beat all on them. And when you get out the bedroom, they make sure that you're a coon. When the role playing is over, so now we're going to snap you back to reality. Now, nigga, go get me the butter biscuits. Understand, in slavery, they had the same shit. In slavery, Massa loved being with the negress from the slave quarters. And understand, they let some of those women do all types of vile things to them in the bedroom, but then after she got through pissing and shitting on Massa, she had to go back out there in the morning and pick that damn cotton. because she was still a slave. You can sit up there and call him your slave. Oh, bow down to me, slave. Yeah, you my slave tonight. Yeah, all right, nigga. That's why they'll let you role play temporarily. That's why, notice how so many slaves had names like Queen. They're like, okay, you're the queen tonight. I'm your slave. All right, Queen, I'm going to name you Queen. And I'm going to let you come on in here and beat me, Queen. I'm going to call you Queen. Queen, goddess, that's what you are, just like this bedwencher's talking now. I'm the goddess and I'm the queen. I'm the queen and I'm the goddess. You know, a lot of slave women name is Queen. There was a movie called Queen with Halle Berry. Remember that? And also there was a lot of slaves named King. And the French word for king is Leroy. Leroy is French for king. That's why there's so many black men named Leroy back during slavery. That's why that's like a running joke with white supremacists. A black man named Leroy. Because they would have dudes doing the same shit. Come on, king, give me some of that dick. You dig? Queen, Queenie, all that shit. Leroy, King. You dig? Did I talk about Ariana Grande? No, I ain't gonna talk about no Ariana Grande. No, nigga, this ain't TRL. I talk about Ariana Grande, nigga. What room are you in? You dig? Man. But yeah, that's a very, it's a very deep dynamic. But these women, you done caught a trick and don't know how to break your trick. And now you falling for your own bullshit in order to justify catching your trick and your trick letting you beat on him. You done told yourself that your feminism is controlling these dudes and you getting reparations. You fucking fool. You goddamn fool. Game goofy ass. That's why some of y'all need some folks to put you up under some instructions. So y'all don't be out here fucking the game up. You did? Man. Did y'all hear about this one actress? She's from Nigeria. They're going to get her to play Harriet Tubman. They're going to get her to play Harriet Tubman. And, hold on a second. And, y'all bear with me. So they're going to get this sister to play Harriet Tubman. And some of the news articles are talking about, they're talking about people are upset. Black Americans are upset. What's the sister's name, by the way? What's that sister's name? The sister who's going to play Harriet Tubman. What's her name? I forgot her name. Hold on. Y'all bear with me. I'm trying to find something. What is that sister's name? Hold on one second. I'm trying to find something. Hold on. I'm trying to find something. Hold on. I'm trying to find something. Y'all bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Y'all bear with me. All right. So she's going to play Harriet Tubman. And they talking about a lot of black people are upset about that. And we're not. We're not upset about that. A lot of people are questioning her relationship with that Lovey chick, who's another Nigerian. And Lovey has a very anti-black American disposition. And a lot of folks have a problem with her. Ola had the name, okay. And people were like, well, y'all just upset and because foreign blacks are getting roles. That's not true. That's not true. We don't have a problem over here with foreign black actors getting roles for American parts or historical American parts. Understand, 12 Years a Slave, the brother who played Solomon Winthrop, Chetwele, I can't think of his last name, but he's a British Nigerian. He did a great job. We have no problem with that. We don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Because the brother from 12 Years a Slave, he respects the game. He's a cool brother. Real good dude. We when they did Selma, the brother who played Dr. Martin Luther King is David Oyelowo. I can't think of his last name either, but he's a Chet Weddy, that's his name. But David Oyelowo, I can't think of his name. I'm very bad with the names. But he's British Nigerian. He did a great job. We don't trip on that. We don't trip on the white women he with. None of that shit. We don't trip on that. But what people are tripping on her about is that some of that fuck shit that Lovey be tweeting, the sister who's gonna be Harriet Tubman, she seems to co-sign that stuff. And that's the problem a lot of people have. That's the problem a lot of folks have. You dig? And yeah, the brother from Star Wars, you know, he's Nigerian. I don't know if he's Nigerian, but he's from Britain. I think his family's Nigerian. So we don't have a problem with Nigerians. We got a problem with the people who align with the coons and the bedwenches. You understand? That's the only problem we have. We cool with Nigerians. We got love for Nigerians. John Boyega, right. But, you know, we got a problem with the coons. So you got a problem with it? No, we got a problem with coons because look, let's not act like we ain't got these type of Negroes coming over here.
Donald Trump. Am I correct?
Yep.
Wow.
Let's see. Oh my God, you look good in that. No, I want you to try it on. Wait, fix it.
Donald Trump is my business
Business
mentor.
partner?
Yeah.
Okay. This is because oh, I love that on you, Michael.
Donald Trump make America great. I love the words. You know, I love it. Oh my goodness.
Do you love it or what? It'll fix a stick.
Are you kidding me?
No.
The status, like something like I don't know what they call it.
You understand me? You see, they letting coons like that over here. They make you a coon before they let you over here. They done made that man a full coon. This is what they dangle. That's on 90 Day Fiance. They like, look, nigga, put this Trump hat on. Put this Trump shirt on. I like Trump. Make America great. So and that's why I always put it back on the white supremacists. Imagine that nigga getting over here. He'll be working at the root. This nigga he ain't even over here, he's ready to start cooning. Do you understand when this nigga get his green card? They'll make that nigga the manager of black folks somewhere. He'll be the manager over at Ebony Magazine. That nigga cannot wait to get over here and start cooning because they dangle that in front of him. Understand, the whole planet is a plantation. America is the big house. So they get brothers and sisters over there. He's finessing. Of course he's finessing. Unfortunately, that's another Lovey. He get over here. That nigga aligns himself with Lovey, and he'll be over here talking all that Akata shit. You understand? So they vet coons over there. If that brother said, hey man, I ain't trying to wear that hat, well nigga, you ain't gonna get this green card. If you don't wear this hat and tear up some of this funky hillbilly mayonnaise pussy, you can't get that green card and get all the goodies that we got stored over in America. Fuck it then, let's make America great. And that's what the system of white supremacy does to you. That's what the system of white supremacy does to you. It brings the coon right on out. You dig? So we got to understand how the game is, man. We got to understand how the game is. And so let me and the thing about those slave movies, understand this. Whenever they and then let's go back to the slave movies. They prefer to get, and I talked about this before, a lot of times they do prefer to get black British actors to play in those American slave roles because, you know, when we get around those plantations, because a lot of times they film on plantations, real plantations. So when we get on them plantations, black people who have an ancestral connection directly with the spirits on those plantations, you know, those spirits start manifesting. Remember, hold on, I'll play some shit for you guys. I'll play something for you, hold on. Hold on, 1 second. 1 second, hold on. Hold on, where's that interview with John Amos? I want to play a clip where John Amos was talking about Roots. When he was on Roots, where's that part?
I got a call from my agent in Sydney.
Hold on.
And I decided that I was going to use an accent of English, I believe it was correct. I mean, John. I said, what, Charles? Now, he had his back. This was a bad place to be. And the guy looked at me and said, I knew you. So
I'm trying to find, there's an interview he did.
And I said, whoa, wait 1 minute, buddy.
Hold on. There's a part where he was talking about he was on
As a
Roots.
child growing up in New Jersey, I was one of 4 out
Hold on.
in the gym. And when
Hold
I
on.
went to those good things, and she said, that'll get over it. Period. So Roots was such a tremendous. John Amos Sr. taught me.
I can't find it. I was looking for a clip where John Amos was talking about being on Roots. In the movie Roots, and he was playing Kunta Kinte, and he said, well, they were on plantations, and he said, when he was on the plantation, he just started freaking out. Just out the blue, and they had to calm him down. My man said, shit, man, I was on the plantation, man, I started going nuts. I mean, just something came up, he broke down. He broke down on the set of they had to calm him down. That shit hits you. John Amos is a real dude. My man who played Omar from The Wire, when he was on 12 Years a Slave, speaking of 12 Years a Slave, I think they were shooting down there in Louisiana somewhere on a plantation. What's Michael's name? What's Michael's name? The brother played Omar. My man who played Omar, what the hell is his name? I'm so bad with names. But, Michael K. Williams, there you go. When he was filming, he said, man, he started breaking down. He was on the plantation. They had to calm him down. He was in character, and them spirits started getting up on him, and he started freaking the fuck out. You dig? Yeah, when you in costume and all that stuff, you feel that, man. You get around some of those spots, man, that energy is there. Those ancestral memories and that energy is there. So a lot of cats, when they're from another place and they don't have that direct connection with that land like that, I think it's easier for them. You understand? When we were doing, and I talked about this before, when we're doing 1804, the costumes we got for 1804, there was a rental place, and we were renting like very expensive costumes. We, like when you look at the movie 1804, we were renting old French military uniforms. I mean, the real shit. And also we were renting real slave clothes. The clothes that we rented, that we had for 1804, some of those slave outfits, they were used in Roots. They were actually used in the original Roots. So these costumes have been around for years. So when we were doing some of the scenes, in one particular scene we're doing for 1804, we're on location. We're doing a scene where everybody was packed up. We're supposed to be packed up on a boat, but we're actually in like a cabin area on set out here in LA. And it's a scene where the Haitians, the French put a bunch of Haitians in a boat and they gassed them. They started burning sulfur to kill them. So everybody had to, they were in chains and they had on these real slave outfits, and we were doing this scene. And one sister kind of got to her. You dig? Because you felt like what it was. We were filming, it was hot. Everybody was all chained together. Everybody was in these clothes. It was uncomfortable. I told people, you can't be in here with shoes. You dig? Can't be in here with modern shit. You can't have your cell phone. You can't have shoes on. So you got to experience the shit like they experienced it. And one sister was like, hey, I got this scene is a little bit too much for me. I'm starting to feel real claustrophobic. I'm really tripping. So one sister, she couldn't do that particular scene. Had to get her in some other stuff because that shit was freaking her out. You understand? But when we were doing the movie, when we were doing the fight scenes, some of that spirit of Ogun started popping up. So some of those fight scenes that you were seeing, where the Africans were fighting the French, some of these dudes were kicking these dudes for real. And we kind of had to make them, like, come on, let's pull back a little bit. So when y'all look at 1804 and see some of them fight scenes, you're like, damn, well, them stunts was on. Some of them, they were beating them up for real. I had to pull them back. I'm like, hey, y'all gonna get me sued, doing this shit. Y'all gotta come back. They were doing capoeira on these people. I'm like, shit. Because some of the cats who were in 1804 were real Haitian dudes. Some of these dudes were real Haitian guys. So that energy was it was method acting. Oh, it was method acting like motherfucker. Like we were doing that voodoo scene, some of these guys, some of these Haitian brothers were teaching us some real chants. So that spirit was real, man. So the spirit was real, really real. Yeah, so they were, the brothers playing the Haitians, they were busting people's lips and shit. Like, god damn. You dig? But it looked good on film though, shit. Everybody was into it. It looked good on film. Man. But Joe Rogan. Yeah, Joe Rogan was talking that bullshit. Joe Rogan was talking that that white genocide shit in South Africa. Joe Rogan is full of shit. But look, Joe Rogan is basically, he's fully aligned himself with the alt-right. I didn't warn people about Joe Rogan for the longest. Joe Rogan is fully aligned himself with the alt-right. You dig? And they keep trying to push this propaganda about white genocide in South Africa. They keep trying to push the lie that in South Africa you got a bunch of rich black people who's marginalizing poor, downtrodden white people, which is a damn lie. And they always, every time I hear about all these rich black people, they always show one clip. And this one clip was reposted on WorldStar. This clip has been circulating for at least 5 years. This clip right here. Hold on.
Hello, welcome. Thank you. Welcome to our house.
Is dit jouw huis? Ja, ek bly hier so en ek werk ook hier so. Mense sukkel tot meneer Smit wil vir ek werk. Hy help ons. Is die toilet?
As you can see, we like, the French style. We've been more inspired by Louis XV.
The difference now is that now we stay in a bigger house, we've got bigger cars, and we didn't inherit that, we earned that. I think that's where the difference is.
Wat kamer. Het hulle intussen 'n bietjie reggemaak en probeer dat dit net leesbaar is.
This is a bathroom. Nobody put water with some bubbles for a bath, and we relax.
So notice they keep trying to show rich black people and poor white people.
Vroeger was dit baie beter geweest. Toe dit nog die, kom ons sê die ou regering was. Ja. Sal sê dit was baie beter geweest. In alle eerlikheid.
One South Africa, two realities. Meet Pindi and Chebo, black, born and raised in Soweto Township. Today, they're South Africa's first shoe designers.
No point at all.
This is the Grobler family. They live in a couple of shacks in a scrapyard. Tumbled down the social scales after the end of apartheid.
Okay, in this house we've got Johan. We've made a point of employing white people, giving them a place to stay. Well, this is reality. It never used to be like this. Under apartheid South Africa, of course, the whites were privileged, and you were guaranteed a job once you left school. Now it's not like that anymore. You leave school and you're on your own.
Duh! So this fool, first of all, this is propaganda bullshit. First of all, propaganda bull, and they always show that one family, this one clip. Black folks ain't living like that in no South Africa. They're not. That's a crock of bullshit. That's probably the only family. I have not seen any other family in South Africa living like that. The white supremacists in South Africa living in the lap of damn luxury. I got a whole video of that when I went to South Africa. Anytime they try to tell you that all these black people got it popping in South Africa and they all rich, they always show that one clip. That's the only clip they can show. And this dude's talking about, well, during apartheid, I mean, we had a lot of privileges. The whites had privileges. We were guaranteed things. And now that we ain't got the white privilege of apartheid, we're on our own. And we supposed to feel sorry for you? This is how irrational these white supremacists are. Understand how white supremacy works. It's not logical at all. And that's what it is with them. They want you to feel sorry for them, that all of them don't get to subjugate you. Man, when we had apartheid, damn, we had all types of white privileges. Now we ain't, what he's saying is all of us ain't got them. They're mad because all of them don't have it. No, I want all of us to have the white privileges, not just 80% of you. What about us 10%? Damn, can us 10% get some of it too? We don't want to be living like niggas. Well, they're just so irrational, it's ridiculous. And we're supposed to feel sorry for you. Well, shit, ain't no white privileges. I don't have a system boosting me up no more. So I'm on my own, so I got to make it a point to hire white people. And we're supposed to feel sorry for them. That's why I want our brothers and sisters in South Africa to get those white supremacists the hell on up out of there. They need to get all them white supremacists off their land. Shout out to Julius Malema. We stand with you. These demonic white supremacists need to get off the land, and you need to remove them. They're illogical. They think it's Satan's mission to have them dominate and subjugate the innocent black people there on their own ancestral land. And it's their lot in life. If they don't get to subjugate you, life has no meaning to these people. Don't negotiate with them. Don't cut deals. Don't try to rationalize with them. Get them people off your land. They're not going to do anything but cause harm to the innocent brothers and sisters there. Yeah, I'm getting those shirts popping. You dig? All right, let me see where we are with the HC5 campaign. Let me go. I got to get in the house with Miss Lexi, and with the family. We went to the LA County Fair yesterday. We had a great time. All right, where we are? Let me see where we are, family. Where are we? Okay, my computer's acting slow. Well, let me see where we are. let me look at my phone. Everything is freezing now. Hold on. And I don't even know if y'all can see me. Okay. It looks like y'all can see me. Hold on. I'm going to just look it up on my phone. Come on, thing. Let's do one last tally before I get off here. We are. Hold on. Come on, thing. Come on. Okay, we are at 2:16 right now. With 3 hours left, we're at 2:16. All right? We got 3 hours left for everybody to contribute to HC5. We got 3 hours left, family. I think we can get to 250. Y'all think we can get to 250? We're at 2:16 right now. I really think we can get to 250, family. I think we can do it. I feel we can do it. The Spirit tells me so. I really think we can do it. You did? All right. Is it buffering? What's going on with this thing? Okay, my thing is acting funny. I hope you guys can see me. Let me try looking at it on my phone. My thing just acts up every now and then. But, hold on. Hold on. Let me see. All right, there we go. I'm still here. I mean, you guys can see me. There we go. I'm good. All right, so you donate. Okay, people asking how to donate. You can donate by clicking the link below me. In my profile, right below me, click that link. D. Tubman, shout out to D. Tubman. She's in the room posting the link. Indiegogo. Click that link or go to Indiegogo and type in Hidden Colors 5. All right? We can get to 250 in 3 hours. We're at 2:16. We can get to 250. We're at 2:16. The goal is at least 250, and we can do that. All right, family, let me get up out of here, man. Again, we got 3 hours left. Everybody, we need all hands on deck on this one, family. I appreciate everybody who has contributed so far. We're making history. We got 3 more hours, family, to make history. So click the link below. Go to Indiegogo.com. Type in Hidden Colors 5, and we're going to make it do what it do. Y'all have a good night, fam.